All rise for the national slam.
I bullied the scene, man.
Bad bitch salute. Ugly hoe sit down. We are now entering I don't give a fuck.
World premiere, Big Act.
I'm the motherfucking president. Motherfucker hoe and tell her I said it. I open up my ass right now and tell her wet it. Hoes man botched up, ugly and pathetic. I'm throwing shots at hoe, gon' stay up to catch it. Brenda daughter, my daddy sold Coco. Port of Miami, he got it off the boat, ho. Black Brazil, the rebellious ass city girl. Been that bitch 6 birthdays at Disney World. You don't know me, bitch, don't bring up my upbringing. Your mammy was around, that pussy still was swinging. Hold on, make me spin your block, strip arena. Pussy so tight, I could barely fit a finger. Oh, you a flop in a ugly ass Selena. Step down on this hoe like a civil rights leader. Lil' hoe will go for anything off a pill. M's in my nigga Birkin bag might spill. How you a brim, never been on the drill? Heard you got a scratch, you can't itch, ill, Vagisil. You get took for granted, I get niggas pockets took hoe. Say you stacking.
Nah, she talking crazy. I ain't gonna lie, I told
It was swinging. Hold on, make me spin your block, strip arena. Pussy so tight, I could barely fit a
I am underwhelmed.
Yeah.
I'm underwhelmed.
Dang, JT. And the fact is, you see her on Instagram talking about y'all, my lips is dry. I've been in the studio and I just been going in. I just been doing, like, she literally was on Instagram Live of some sort saying, like, she was going ham in the studio.
And
this is what you...
Is that what going ham sounds like? I don't know if that's what going ham sounds like. If it is, hold on real quick. We got to get this audio right. We still echoing. We good? All right. If that's what going ham sounds like,
to JT,
I don't subscribe. I don't subscribe, okay?
I just feel like she should just sit to the side.
And here's the problem. I believe JT can rap. She is the better one out of the city girls.
Yeah.
You know? But I don't think that is comparable to Magnet.
No, not at all.
That's not comparable to Magnet. And so now...
Like, Magnet has replay value.
Magnet does have replay value.
This is literally just a diss. And as Kendrick's Not Like Us has replay value. And I think that kind of, in this, not a new age of dissing, but it make you want to play it over and over and over again. That is just kind of a pass on by.
Yeah, I think that is the hard part, is that we have now entered in a game of, like, yes, it needs to have replay value, but it also needs to be catchy. Whereas, like, I can sing along to it, you know. Mm-hmm. Really, it's back-to-back's fault.
Yeah,
it's back-to-back's fault.
Okay,
like,
Drake.
If you know, we got to give props when props are due. Like, back-to-back made people want to recite the lyrics and be able to.
Because it is a new age of dissing where it's not like you say, you sing along it, but like the diss tracks back in the day used to be kind of like straight bars.
Yeah.
No catchy hook, no catchy, you know, whatever. Mm-hmm. And it would just be something that you hear on the radio where you actually have to tune in and see what they're saying, and it's coming across like hard and rough. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of diss. And now it's like, it can be playful and we're going to make a song out of this, but I'm still about to diss you.
Yeah, and I think the greats who can do it really well are those that do still have the ability to make it catchy and fun and things like that, but also drop the bars off. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying to you? I just don't think that from what I just heard right there, it wasn't hard to me. I didn't hear one.
She said something about Vagisil. She said something about her body being botched and she is feeling lymphatic or something like that, which I see what she... that wasn't verbatim, but I feel like that's what I heard.
I just think that, like, when you write something, you gotta make sure that it is comparable to who it is that you are going against.
It's literally giving yawn. It's literally giving.
Yeah.
Anyways, who are we?
Yeah, welcome to Voices in the Streets.
Welcome to Voices in the Streets. You know what we're talking about.
Podcast. Xavier Brandon on the MIC with my girl.
DesiiTeee.
And
Voices
it's a
in the
special
Streets
edition.
podcast.
Shout out to our boy Austin. Couldn't make it today.
Yeah.
So we holding down the fort for the pod. Make sure you follow us via Unfiltered Radio ATL on Instagram. Make sure you hit us up on YouTube, Voices in the Streets Unfiltered, the podcast. Make sure you also follow us on TikTok at VISU or Voices in the Streets. We everywhere, man. Like, subscribe, run those numbers up, share,
comments,
and all that stuff.
Let's comment on this because let's go ahead and get into it.
Yeah, let's get into it. Go ahead, Des.
All right, so the girls are beefing.
Okay.
The one girl is rapping right now. Right now, we got one girl.
One girl is rapping.
One girl who's rapping and set it off, and she has kind of woken up the monster per se. Mm-hmm. Who that might be, Nicki Minaj.
Of course, of course.
So through this week, it's literally been every single day, probably, that Nicki Minaj and Cardi B have been going. Their Twitter fingers have been going off like crazy. So it has been a little Twitter war. We have gone very far as what we're talking about, what we're saying about each other, what we're saying about each other's children. So just like a little history lesson on this.
Yes, bring us from how do we even get here? How do we even get here?
How do we get here? Okay, so we do know that Cardi B and Nicki Minaj were on the song with the Migos, Motorsport, which is a great song. Unfortunately, we would never get something like that again. It was great to have both of them on the track, but from the beginning, they did not work together on that song. You could see it in the music video. They were in two different scenes. They were never in a scene together. So apparently, Nicki Minaj had a verse that had Cardi's name in it, where she like name dropped some things, and they asked her to, or I think Cardi asked her to change that verse of some sort. And just imagine you a new one coming in and telling the OG to switch some things up. She switches some things up. They have a song. The song hits the charts. It helps Cardi B elevate in her rap career. On top of her also being with Offset, who was a part of the Migos or whatever.
Yeah.
Between the time those two have started doing interviews about things, and from what I'm seeing or what I know, Nicki Minaj went on. She went on a radio show. I don't know. I don't remember exactly who it is, but she expressed that when Cardi B went on another interview and was asked about the Motorsport song, Cardi B was kind of like, "Oh, I didn't hear the verse." That she switched up the verse. Like she was very underwhelmed. She just didn't really give the excitement of, "Oh my God, I'm on a track with Nicki Minaj," and Nicki Minaj said that hurt her feelings.
Okay.
That hurt her feelings that Cardi B got on a track with said queen and did not bow down to Queen. And she referenced when she first got on a track with Trina, how much respect and how much love she had for getting on a track with Trina, and I guess she expected that same energy from Cardi B.
Right.
So Nicki Minaj is saying, Cardi B had her interview, Nicki Minaj sees the interview, she's hurt, her feelings are hurt, and that kind of expands the beef between them.
Right.
And so following that, I believe it was 2018, they were at a fashion event. And I'm sure something has happened in between. You know what I'm saying? Things I don't remember because this was, again, back in the day. They were at this fashion event, and all we know and all we saw was that there was a fight between Cardi B and Nicki Minaj where things got physical. If y'all remember, and maybe we should pop it up on the video, Cardi B had that knot on her head.
Yeah.
And apparently shoes were thrown.
Right.
Things were happening. Who else was what was her name?
Akbar.
Raw. What's her name?
Raw. Oh no, Akbar wasn't there. Raw Ali was there.
Raw Ali was there. So
Yeah.
Raw Ali also has beef now with Cardi B, and like throughout the years, things have just happened.
Right.
And they've just been throwing these little shots or whatever. As we know, Cardi B has been sat down for how many years?
She's been out 7 to 8
years.
years. Yeah.
She hasn't done anything in 7 years. In that 7 years, Nicki Minaj has definitely done something. She's had the Pink Print third.
Well, no. So
Nicki
I
Minaj
think-
has definitely had.
No. Yeah, what I'm saying is, if we're continuing with the timeline, Nicki, the last album that Nicki Oh, you're talking about Pink Friday too.
Pink Friday.
Okay, so yeah, so Nicki drops Queen, Cardi drops Invasion of Privacy. We haven't heard anything from her since then.
Yes,
Nicki
yes,
drops
yes,
Pink
yes.
Friday too. And
She's gone on tour.
Right.
What I'm saying is, as after Cardi B has dropped Invasion of Privacy, she hasn't done anything, but Nicki Minaj has.
Correct.
She's gone on tour. She's had an album, and we since then, Nicki Minaj was on tour last year because I went to that. I think we went to that concert last year. She's been pretty quiet. And has been sat down as well. She's been chilling. I think she's been chilling in her money, her tour money. She
and
has
also
said that.
probably being a mom.
And being
you know
a
what I'm
mom
saying?
and being a wife and et cetera. But we'll get into that. And so now Cardi B comes out with her new album, Am I the Drama?
Right.
And then Am I the Drama comes out. We got a diss towards Bia, which we knew was coming. And then we have a diss towards JT, which I didn't know was coming. I didn't know. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't know about that beef.
Yeah, it just dropped last night too.
No, I'm saying
you didn't know
I didn't know about the drama. I mean, I didn't know about the beef between JT and Cardi B. For Cardi B to have a song on her album about JT.
Well, I think this goes back to, if I'm not mistaken.
Is this with QC in them?
Yep, Invasion.
And Migos.
Yep, and I think it has something to do with Invasion, either Invasion of Privacy or was it the Pink Friday 2. One of those times, there was an issue with JT and Carisha was having an issue. I think JT was on the side of Nicki Minaj and Carisha.
No, not I think. That is for sure.
Yeah,
JT is one of Nicki Minaj's minions for sure.
Right. So JT was on the side of Carisha, and no, JT was on the side of Nicki. Carisha was having an issue with Nicki. Then Carisha and JT was having internal issues as a rap,
per usual,
as a rap group. And I think that Cardi felt like JT wasn't being a good friend to Carisha.
Yeah, but then also in that same line, remember Cardi jumped on the track with them too.
Yeah, they had twerk together.
They had a joint together too.
Yeah,
and I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say like the same thought process that Nicki has as far as like be thankful that I jumped on something with you. I don't know if the City Girls were really thankful. Maybe Carisha was really thankful of Cardi B jumping on something because that also made it a good hit when Cardi B got on it. Anyway, so we now have Am I the Drama? There's diss tracks on there. Again, a reminder, Nicki Minaj has been quiet. Now, I was doing some more research on some things.
What did you find out,
Come to find out, allegedly, this actually started with Cardi.
Okay.
Because a lot of people feel like Nicki Minaj starts things. Apparently, Cardi B was on, and I don't know if this makes for any of this to even happen, but from what I was seeing and reading and researching, that Cardi B was on live, and of course the Barbs was on her live and was talking mess, and Cardi B was saying how she was gonna do better than the rappers before her. Of course, Nicki Minaj, like she was gonna sell much more, and apparently the Barbs are coming for her and saying, "No, you're not. That's Queen." Da 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 da. Cardi B didn't like that. Then it came out that the numbers showed that she didn't do more. She didn't sell more than Nicki Minaj. And I guess that instance of her talking about it, you know what I'm saying, and getting upset that she didn't do more, her numbers didn't do better than Nicki Minaj, woke Nicki Minaj up. And from that point, that's just when we get the Twitter war.
Right.
happens.
So like you said, so yeah, I think what you're saying is accurate. Like she goes off, says like, look, I'm gonna outsell the Barbs. Nicki doesn't actually say it. The Barbs say, despite what has been said, these are the actual numbers, right? So then Cardi jumps in and is like, why? And Nicki reposts what the Barbs, or I think it was a fan page or something like that, says.
That the Barbs are instigators.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, but you know, that it's her fans.
Yeah.
that get her going.
So because she reposted it, Cardi responds with like, why are you comparing yourself to me?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You should be comparing yourself to Drake and Rihanna and those people who were in your class of people.
Right.
Like, you know, and yes, from there, then we get
But is that Nicki Minaj's class of people?
No.
Wouldn't it be like Kendrick, Drake?
Well, Drake,
J.
Kendrick,
Cole,
J. Cole,
even
the
Big
09
Sean,
Big Sean, Wale,
like that freshman class.
that 09,
yeah.
010 class would be Nicki's class of tiers of people, rappers.
Not
right?
you're comparing the pop stars.
Right,
You were
like
trying to-
Rihanna's not in your class. Rihanna came out way before you. You know what I'm saying?
Taylor
Like,
Swift
they're not
is
in
not-
your. The
yeah.
rappers
Is
are
who we should be.
The freshman class of.
But I get Cardi's point, though.
Mm-hmm.
I get her point, even though we're a little off on the genres.
Right.
I get her point as far as like, why are you comparing what I'm doing to what you doing?
Yeah.
And so it just creates a whole thing. And I think from that point, again, it wakes up Nicki Minaj, and she just goes low from that point.
Yeah.
It's a little sad because now we're talking about the kids. And it looks, and I know you're a Nicki, so I really want to hear your thoughts on what you see from Nicki, because even when we've seen Nicki do some BS back in the day, or just throughout these years, you've still been like, I'm still a fan. That's still my girl. Like, you've still been.
I mean, I love Nicki Minaj.
I love her too.
How did I admit it? I wish one day we get married just to say we can did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry.
Like, I know, like and I too, like, I was a very big fan. And honestly, during this time of listening to Am I the Drama, I did go back and listen to like Itty Bitty Piggy and like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, let me get back to, I need to listen to some Nicki. So I did do that in the midst of us, falling in love with Am I the Drama. But like, what I'm seeing from Nicki and how far she is going, it's making me not like her.
And that's what I've been talking to different people about when it comes to that, is that I think I was talking to Tosh about this. I was saying how I think the problem is that Nicki, no, not even Nicki. I think society now, it cares more about people's personality
music?
and authenticity and genuineness than they do the music. So, for instance, when Pink Friday 2 dropped, everybody was a hit. It sampled, the joint from Trolls. It was like, you had Northwest doing all the kids and stuff. I played it. But it didn't. I felt it should have been like number one. You know what I'm saying? You got Uzi on it. Like, it should have been a thing. There was no video. It should have been a thing. I think the problem, though, is that people don't connect with her anymore because of the rants and the different things that she goes about and say it. And so, versus Cardi, I think Cardi makes great music as well. I think that Cardi is a lovable personality. She's genuine.
Her
she's
charisma,
authentic. Her charisma. She's
yes.
funny. Like all the things.
And it is truly
that
her.
You what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
There's no like trying to pretend to be somebody.
It's as
else.
if her PR team had to mold themselves to like
To her
to
versus
her, and not her mold herself to the media and public and PR and stuff like that.
Exactly. And I think that also with the ages that they are, I think that people expect more from both. For me, yes, I'm a Nicki fan. I'm a Cardi fan. You know what I'm saying? But I expect more for a 30, what's she, like 39? I don't know if she hit 40 yet.
About
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Year-old woman who has seen success, who has been, and it's hard also when I know your lyrics.
Yeah.
When you say you kick down the door for these women to come in so that nobody would have to go through what you're going through.
Yeah.
But yet you're not showing the same level of respect or honor that you want to be.
But are we surprised at that? Because we also, let's not forget the beef that Nicki Minaj had with Lil Kim and not paying. And so it's just like, you want Cardi B to sit here or any other rap female that comes, because let's not forget, Nicki Minaj has beef with almost every single female rapper that comes out. She did a song with Coi Leray, then they went somewhere. She did a song with Ice Spice, and then that went somewhere. You know what I'm saying? JT is literally the only one who has stuck beside her. Like, I'm gonna stick beside her. Like, that's
still
my
don't
man.
have a song with her.
I'm gonna stick. And that's the only person that she's been sticking besides. Lotto even came out and said, I would love to do a song with Nicki Minaj. She sat here and she said, that is one of my dream collabs. And somehow Nicki Minaj turned around and still made beef with Lotto. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just kind of crazy to
Everybody can't be lying. This is one of those cases.
And you know what I'm saying? But it's like, you can't sit here and expect somebody to bow down to you, but you couldn't even bow down, if anything, to somebody who came before you. If you literally have a photo of when you first came out that's verbatim like Little Kim's.
Yeah.
From her time.
Yeah.
Little Kim is literally the one who has opened up the door for us to be in our sexuality and talk about it on the mic and be okay with it. You know what I'm saying? Little Kim was the first one who was not like between Little Kim and Foxy Brown, they were not like the Queen Latifahs and the MC Lights. You know what I'm saying? And the Yayas. She came and she opened a completely different door and Trina as well. They came and opened a completely different door for females to rap. And Nicki Minaj couldn't even at any point pay homage to her.
And I think that's also the issue that I have is like, here's the thing. I'm trying to be objective, right? Objectively, it's like you can't sit there and want people to pay homage to you if you can't pay homage to them. Now, in Nicki's defense, there is audio and video of her saying, "Look, I do love Kim. I praise Kim. Kim, the reason why I was rapping, I was doing all that stuff and everything like that. You know what I mean? The looks, the flipping the wigs, all that stuff, you know, is straight homage to Kim, right? I don't know if Kim received Nicki's presentation the way that Nicki intended, which may have been why the beef had started, right?
Well,
go ahead.
No, go ahead, because I know what I'm going to say.
You know, so
I want to throw you off thought.
So I think that was it. Either way, you know what I'm saying? I think that you can't want your cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta be a woman of your word, and you gotta stand on things, and you can't sit there and say I've done all these things for all these women, which you have to also give her credit. She has hopped on songs with people. She has given them. She has elevated them. She has platformed them and stuff like that. I think, but when they do something that they may not like, same like Megan Thee Stallion, you know what I'm saying? Hot Girl Summer and stuff like that.
She beefing with her too.
The issue with Megan was that, you know, she felt like she said something disrespectful as far as when she was fertility. You know, something a young, dumb thing, whatever like that, but she took it really personal. And because of that, that's when and a lot of these things are behind the scenes. They're not even rap. They're not even rap. They're not even rap thing, which is also one of the reasons why Cardi has an issue with Nicki too. Is like, you doing stuff behind the scenes.
Okay, so let's pause.
Go ahead.
You said that there's video of Nicki Minaj paying homage and saying things about Lil' Kim. Now, through my research again, there was an interview with Lil' Kim when she was on the Breakfast Club, and she was basically saying, this is where the beef came from. Like, I saw the girl, Lil' Kim was basically like, I was about to walk in on Young Money. Like, her and Slim was cool. They were about to go into business together. And her and Nicki Minaj were supposed to be on a song together, blah, 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 blah. Apparently, Lil' Kim had a song where she was rapping a certain type of way, and Nicki was rapping a certain type of way. Lil' Kim went about her business, came back, and then now Nicki Minaj was sounding like Lil' Kim, however way that Lil' Kim was sounding. And then at one point they were in the same vicinity or whatever, and Nicki Minaj was rolling her eyes at Lil' Kim. Attitude was all nasty. You know what I'm saying? And so that kind of threw Lil' Kim off.
Yeah.
And then apparently there was a song that Lil' Kim had made. I forgot what it was called. She gave it to Slim. She said it may not have been the same as what my fans would have liked, but it was a song that I made. Next thing you know, that particular song sounded and was named, whatever song that Lil' Kim made, that sound and that name was then on the Nicki project. So there was some behind the scenes thing happen. Yes, we can say she's paid homage, but I do feel like Nicki Minaj has a bad attitude. I think she has a nasty, there's a part of her, as much as we've seen her this week talk about nasty spirits and nasty da-da-da-da, Nicki Minaj has a history of having a nasty spirit and a nasty personality towards people. And
I think she had an interview with Rob Markman, and Rob, shout out to Rob Markman. Rob Markman actually called her out on it with the whole, she brought up the song that she had on Pink Friday 1 where she talked about, like, I'm trying to open these doors for all these women and stuff like that. Because he asked, like, why is the issue with Cardi? And she gave this analogy of, like, if you got a laundromat and you own them, and you got a new laundromat on your block, like, are you gonna let them come in and try to, like, steal your spot pretty much? And I bring this up because I think the issue is a generation thing. I think that people of older generations when newer people come around, they feel threatened by them versus feeling like, let me help you thrive and things
I gotta
like that.
stop you on that because there's a generation between Lil' Kim and Nicki Minaj, and I don't feel like Lil' Kim did that to her. Or am I tripping? Am I tripping?
Because I don't know because again, you said all the songs and all the things and whatever like that, right? We never saw publicly Kim embrace Nicki. We didn't see that. We didn't see that publicly. Maybe behind the scenes and things were going to work, things out, but it didn't pan out. But we never saw that publicly.
But let's also remember that publicly back then, we weren't on social media like that. We had maybe a little MySpace, maybe a little bit of Facebook.
Yeah, but you had the Smack DVDs, you had the Come Up DVDs, you had all
was
these.
Was Lil' Kim on those though?
I mean,
Nicki was.
Nicki was. Yeah.
So we can't say like I don't remember Lil' Kim being on the DVDs that was getting passed around.
Right, but what I mean by that is that we publicly didn't see Kim say, "Hey, yo, here you are the new guard," right? Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is because of that, it also feels like high school, like a high school, mean girl, like I'm the senior, you're the freshman, like you need to bow down, respect me type situation. Yeah. So then, Kim doesn't do that to Nicki. Nicki doesn't do that to Cardi. Cardi, the difference is she's
embracing everybody.
She's like, I embrace everybody. I'll do stuff with everybody until you do something that makes me have to, be different. And I say that because this is a sidebar, but it's going to connect. Gilly and Wallow, shout out to $1 Million Worth of Game, they did an interview with Joey Badass. Joey Badass was talking about like how we need to do more collaborations. We need to be more collaborative. It's not about you gotta take my spot, because Gilly was making a point of saying like, I'm not about to let nobody come and take my spot. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to help you get to the point where you can replace me or whatever like that, And Joey was saying, there's enough room for everybody.
Yeah.
There's enough room. We find that in all this stuff. We find that in radio. We find that in pop. We find that in a whole lot of things. It's like,
what's the analogy? There's a whole bunch of brands of bread.
There's enough bread for everybody.
Yeah,
there's enough room for everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own lane and their own type of thing. Like Rhapsody don't have to be like Lotto. Lotto don't have to be like Flo Milli. Flo Milli don't gotta be like Bia. Bia don't have to be.
And none of them are really the same. When you say it like
Doechii,
that.
they are different, and there's enough space where everybody can eat. But if you feel like, and granted, in Nicki's time, there was always only one. There's always been
always her.
There's always been only one. Even
so that mess with your ego.
Yeah,
that literally will.
There's when you had Queen Latifah and you had
MC
Light, you had all these different ones, but then when you only had Kim and Foxy. Then for a long time it was only like you had Eve, then you might have had Trina.
Yeah.
Then it was like a vacancy. It was a vacancy.
There was, you're very right.
And then Nicki came, you know what I'm saying?
You're very right.
And Nicki had the game for like a decade.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? So then it was like a bubbling of all these different, because of Nicki.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then it was like, that's why she gets like the factory, right?
Yeah,
then it was like, let me make more Nicki Minaj's. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta admit,
body-wise, look-wise.
You gotta admit, Cardi is from that factory.
Yeah.
Like
out of New York. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why.
I mean, honestly, their bodies is not far apart at this point, because the surgeries that they both have gotten is wild.
You know what I mean? Surgery, content, all that stuff. So you gotta be able to say like, okay, I don't know how women brain work. You know what I'm saying? What I do know is that, going back to Kim comes from a place in hip hop where everybody had to be original.
Wait a minute. Let's not forget. What's her name? Why am I blanking?
Shauna.
No. She was in jail. Why am I?
Remy. Yeah.
Remy also.
Oh, you mean the beef?
There was a beef there too, but was there an embrace from Remy to Nicki? Like, how did that even?
There's footage of Nicki saying, I love Remy. Remy was, I looked up to Remy, all that stuff like that. But Remy's perspective is behind the scenes. Nicki had a verse said, I'm trying to run the chick with the crown, gotta run it like Chris Brown, right? in Remy's whatever song, she got the crown on or whatever like that. And so Remy says, yo, I hit Nicki up like, hey, do we got a problem? And she was like, no, we ain't got no problem, just a bar, blah, blah, blah. I be like, okay, cool, right? Then there's some behind the scene things of like you trying to move me out the way to do different things. This is from Remy's perspective. So that's when she has to drop Sheether. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Okay, I just want to put that. I just want to insert that.
No, I think that's
important.
I think that's a good point. I think that there comes a time where everybody wants to be original. Well, not everybody. There was a time where originality was what set you apart. So if you're trying to copy me, going back to your point with, hold up, I wrote this song, I had these flows and stuff like that. Now you got this song and it sounds like me. It's like, yo, you biting me. Like, where's your lane? Where's your thing? Like that was a cloth that people cared about at a certain time. I don't know if that same thing matters now. You know what I'm saying? If originality and creativity and not looking like, sounding like everybody else is different, because you can always see the tree.
Yeah.
Of whose family line.
Who comes from what.
Who comes from what. You know, I think it's really disheartening for me as a fan, a consumer, to see these grown women who I would love.
It would be great if they collab.
I told Tosh this the other day. I was like, do you know how much power it would be if they had an all-female tour, like the Rockefeller tour? Like, it was called, like Cash Money versus Rough Riders, or...
but none of them are really a part of... I mean, Nicki Minaj comes from Young Money.
You talk about like so
labels
and stuff like that.
Yeah, like a particular, like Cardi wasn't a part of a team,
right? And but no. What I mean by that is that like when they had that, it was like, what is the name of the tour? They did a whole movie backstage. It was like a Def Jam tour. No. It was like a Def Jam tour. So it had Red and Meth. It had DMX. It had Jay-Z. It was like a whole. It was a whole tour. I forgot. Was it the Hard Knock Life tour? I think it was the Hard.
I know you're talking
It was the Hard Knock Life tour.
It's just so different because it's, again, as you were saying earlier, I don't know how women think. Not that's what you were saying, but like, it's as if they always put us. You know what I'm saying? Have us to go ahead of each other because.
But they don't. But see, here's the thing. I think the problem is that we have not elevated as a people to look past that. I agree with you. There's like some systematic thing that either the internet do or, people play into negativity. So they like negativity a lot more. But there is some like systematic approach of breaking down like we can't work together because of ego, pride. I heard you say something about me, whatever. Like we have not learned how to do conflict resolution. So because of that, because that's not a skill that's often set, what we grow up learning about is if you got a problem with me, I got a problem with you. Versus sitting there and saying like, do we have a problem? Is there an issue? We put two and two. We don't consistently communicate. Like,
I mean, for Cardi B and Nicki, we are way past that now at this point. The way that they've been talking about each other's children. But to your point on that side, we just saw Lotto and Ice Spice make up.
Right.
And they were literally.
But they didn't really have no real beef.
They didn't. But they were putting it on wax.
Yes.
Lotto definitely was putting it on wax.
Yes,
they were definitely like, if I see you, it's on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You really thought we were going to see something. We knew Ice Spice wasn't going to do nothing.
Yeah.
But Lotto, not sure. But Lotto knows she got something to lose.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And then this year we see that them two have come together, so it makes you curious to be like, what was that conversation? How did y'all come together? What made y'all say, okay, let's put this down? Okay, let's say, how did we? It just make you think, how did they go about it for them to come together, and why can't the other rap girls do that?
And that's what made me.
And it might be a generational thing.
But that's what made me think about this idea of if there was an all-female tour where you get the heavy hitters. You got Nicki, you get Cardi, you get Megan, you get Glow, you get Lotto. I don't know if there's anybody else of that same like tier or whatever like that.
Just throw Sexy Red in there just because.
Sure. Throw Ice Spice and Sexy on it. Sure.
Just because.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody who got like some collaborative records together and you put them all on a tour, right? Do you know how much
they would
money
make
that would
bank.
make? Do you know what that would do for the culture? Do you know what that would do for the careers
But we
of
haven't seen
these
nothing
women?
like that since Ladies Night. You
We
know what I'm saying?
have-
Like a collaborative
Yeah,
song or
and I-
or idea.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And I gotta give it to like the younger girl, like Megan and Glow and Lotto. They'll jump on each other's remixes and
Even
stuff like
Sexy.
that.
Okay, so
Sexy,
we know Sexy Red had or Nicki Minaj jumped on Sexy Red's track. What I liked about what Sexy Red did is she stayed neutral, bruh. She was like, I'm not about to fall into, I'm cool with everybody. Because I think what Nicki Minaj does sometimes is she try to pull people under her wing to get on her side, to like side with her when in certain situations. JT is the one that's caught up in that. I think the other girls that she's tried to do that with, it hasn't worked. Coi Leray, Bia, you know what I'm saying? Sexy Red. JT is the only one, or maybe even Akbar. JT and Akbar are really her. Are really the
her
ones
people,
who
but I
are
feel like
people.
it shouldn't even be a let's choose sides.
It shouldn't, but I'm saying I think that's what Nicki Minaj tries to do. I don't know for sure, but that's what it looks like, as if she tries to pull these people under her wing so that they can side with her in situations like this. For example, with the whole JT thing, apparently Nicki Minaj called Santana and Carisha and said, why you didn't get on, why didn't you jump on, why you ain't get on JT's side? Like, why you ain't say nothing when her and Cardi B was going back and forth. And it's like, that's her thought process. Get the people behind you so that the more people you have to talk shit, it's gonna work.
That's a good point, which I feel again shows
Her maturity
level, which that's also why I feel like people don't rock with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not saying Cardi is perfect. Cardi definitely jumps out the window and she's, her attacking Bia. Well, she ain't attacking Bia, but, Bia dropped a diss song, which was trash. Then Cardi waits till her album drops a diss song, which is good.
Pretty and petty.
Pretty and petty, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And even, her with Magnet on JT. I think that it's okay. Sometimes you're not going to like each other. I'm not trying to be on some like, let's kumbaya and let's be on some like, of course, peace is always good. But I like rap beef, me. I like the bars that come from it. Majority of the time, unless it's trash. And then I'm you could have saved that.
JT could have saved that.
Right, yeah, she could have saved that. But I think that we could do more as a people, not only just in the music industry, but what it looks like for people who are looking up to these women and who are following these women.
I get what you're saying.
I think female rap is at an all-time high right now.
I love the
and
rap
if the
girl
Giants
list.
could just sit there and put their egos to the side, figure out what's your real problem with me. Like, because Cardi's real problem was like, yo, you said if Cardi the QB, I'm Vince Lombardi, and she's like, you ain't never coached me, you never helped me get into this thing. But also, Cardi, you also said, yo, she's your idol. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, sometimes we read in, you can feel the way you feel, but sometimes you read into things that don't need to be read into.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I hear everything you say. I hear everything you're saying, bro. But right now, that dream of yours,
it ain't gonna happen.
It ain't gonna happen. But I
just
want to touch on the fact that like it has gone so far. Like we're so far past this. As I said, Lotto and Ice Spice were able to make up whatever. They saw that it was petty. They saw that it was unnecessary. We will never, I don't think we can, and maybe in years to come, as we saw Jay-Z and Nas make up years later, but right now, because these two have brought up children.
Yeah.
They brought up their children.
But hold on. Hov and Nas said some crazy things to each other. Crazy things to each other. It was all over rap. You know what I'm saying? I think that, and it didn't take that long. It wasn't like a 10-year beef or whatever like that. Well, maybe the beef was kind of like brewing for 10 years, but like their makeup wasn't like, it didn't take 10 years from the time Super Ugly dropped so they got on stage together. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a mutual respect. I think that, again, because I do think Nicki is traumatized. I think Nicki has hard times dealing with letting other people in for whatever reasons. And I think that both of them are from New York. That's why I had to bring the Knicks jersey. I was like, this is some New York stuff that we about to talk about. Like, Queens versus the Bronx, like the Mets versus the Yankees, goddamn, Giants versus the Jets. Like, this is like, you don't let anybody disrespect, talk bad about. It's like it's low key like they the same person, just different sides.
Oh, they are
of the coin, which is probably the reason why they clash so much. It's kind of like big sis, little sis. Like all I want you to do is respect me.
But they're not embracing each other in that.
And they're not embracing each other. But it's like big sis is like, yo, I just want you to respect me.
But little sis is like, you can't talk to me like that.
Right. And I want you to respect me.
Yeah.
Like
I'm doing shit too. Like
exactly. And I feel like that's what's happening. But their egos and their camps and their pride is too high to sit there and say, dang, this really is what's happening. Like, and yes, I was wrong. I shouldn't have called Culture a roach. I shouldn't have called Papa Bear on the spectrum for not talking. Like, that's out of pocket. You know what I'm saying?
But who they are and where they're from,
it's like, yo,
it's not gonna. I don't see a makeup coming anytime soon. Like, if at all.
Yeah, I don't see it either. But I think and you are the grown woman on the show, so you tell me. I feel like, yes, we know it was too far.
Yeah. I mean, after Cardi dropped that baby, get the address. Like, it's just what I think. Like, because she took it, I don't know, it's just, and it feels like a lot of the hatred and a lot of the things are coming from Nicki.
But you just started the show saying that it was Cardi's fault that we ended.
Yes, I did say it started from Cardi and whatever she said to the Barbs. But I know that Nicki went very low after that point.
Yeah.
And took it very far after that point. I mean, she's been in the industry long enough to know, like, okay, my fans are going to manipulate, my fans are going to do, and her fans are just as bad as the Beehive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, and we see what they do. So I feel like Nicki Minaj could have been smart enough to know how to work around that and not be bothered, because it also looks crazy that you've been quiet this whole time, but the moment that this girl drops something, you're the loudest one.
I will say it feels like every time that Nicki drops something or Cardi drops something, the beef reignites. It's like but
when Nicki dropped her joint, was there something coming from Cardi?
That's what I will say. What I will say is I don't believe that Cardi ever goes on the offense. Cardi's never like, so what the girl dropped? Like, she's unbothered. Well, she's not unbothered.
Now,
she portrays like she's unbothered.
I did hear that Cardi was throwing some, like, she had a line on Young Thug's new song, which I don't like at all. I don't think it's good. That song is like In the News or whatever. Have you heard that?
Mm-mm.
On his new album? Cardi is featured on it, and she says something like, you know, when you go on vacation, you the one that's paying and not your man type thing. And apparently that's a shot at Nicki.
You know what I'm saying? And so here's the thing. Also, I ain't gonna lie. When I heard "Dead" by Cardi, I thought the Guess Who act, nice when we in public. I thought that was a shot at Nicki, but Cardi said it's not a shot. You know what I'm saying? Either way, should hands be thrown to rectify things?
And you know what? But when hands are thrown, what we gonna do? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not high school. Like, sometimes hands can be thrown and you still got beef with that B, and anytime you do see her, it's on sight. It's a never-ending thing when you're in high school, or you know what I'm saying? So what would it be? Put them in the ring, and then what's gonna happen after that? What are we gonna do after that?
I don't know if they would both agree to being put in the ring, honestly. I do think Cardi's like, yo, we can handle, because she said this before, we can handle this, like, when we can talk or we can throw hands. I'm with whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think that.
I mean, their husbands at one point have even had.
That's very true.
But
it's because of them. It's because of them. I think
that also plays a part in the beef of why it's so strong as well, because the husbands at one point were, you know what I'm saying, they seen each other in public.
Yeah. So I just think that grown women should handle things, and I believe the same thing for grown men, okay? I'm not trying to make it seem like, we want all the women just to be together and all the men can just fight each other. I'm saying grown people should handle things a little bit better. You should not be bringing these people's kids or these other person's kids
and that's
involved.
what we see,
especially if there's something that, like,
there's
culture ain't got nothing to do with this. Papa Bear ain't got nothing to do with this.
And the thing is that we don't know. I didn't know that he was considered or to be on a spectrum. You know what
I
I'm
don't
saying?
know. Yeah,
Or if it even is, there are some things that I feel like that are behind the scenes when it comes down to families. And obviously the industry people may know, like they've talked about Jay-Z and Beyonce's son may be on the spectrum and stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like those are things that just should be kept on
Yeah.
the back end and shouldn't be brought to the front until it's brought to the front by the
by the
parents.
person. But I think it's like when you go low, I go to hell.
Well,
Like,
yeah. I mean, in this particular instance,
that's
yeah.
the thought process. So it's kind of like Cardi did say, "Yo, this is your son's birthday." We gotta point that out.
Yeah.
You brought up the fact this is your son's birthday, and you sitting there writing essays. Go to Chuck E. Cheese. That's what
Yeah.
you said.
Yeah.
You brought that.
I mean,
up. So,
on my way here, I saw more stuff.
so
to be
you
honest
brought
with
that up.
you.
So you got to be able to say, like, when you start bringing in, you know, and even if I do agree, like, dang, she should be paying more. She should be like.
But Nicki should really be ashamed of herself for talking about people, because talking about kids. Like,
But so hold up. You're not gonna say that.
no, I'm saying Cardi B is too. But
Okay.
again,
Both
the
of them.
reason both of them are wrong for bringing up the children. But
Yeah.
the reason the children are in the picture right now is because Nicki Minaj did.
No, I just told you. Cardi tweeted first that it's your son's birthday and you out here writing. That's not right. That's not
No,
act-
she said something about the culture vulture. She said your mama crow and culture vulture, and she went in on culture, talking about culture. So then Cardi B was like, don't take it there.
But hold on. What I'm saying is, did Nicki say that first, or did Cardi say it's your son's birthday and you need to go? You writing, instead of you being with your son, you writing essays about me. Please go to Chuck E. Cheese.
What are you saying? What you're saying, even if it was okay, I don't know the timeline. Like
I'm looking at time. I'm looking at-
because it's mad tweets.
Hold on. Which one?
But
Nicki,
even
okay. In the
but
timeline,
even-
Nicki dropped that tweet first. Then
but
Cardi said it's your
even
son's
X,
birthday. Okay.
Even
cool.
X, if Cardi B came out and said you should be at Chuck E. Cheese with your son, at what point was she talking about her son? She's just pointing out the obvious. Is that you sitting here talking to me? You should be with your child. She didn't come back and say anything about him and him being on the spectrum.
Yeah,
Nicki
yeah.
Minaj is the one that came out and started calling that girl a culture vulture, talking about she gonna kick her gums in, calling her a monkey and a roach, saying all of these things. So right then and there is when you violated.
Of
You
course.
violated this. So what
I
I'm
agree with
saying
you.
is the reason why the kids are even in the conversation
Is
is
because-
because of Nicki taking it that far. And then now Cardi B is exposing allegedly what you really got going on with you and your family.
Okay. I agree. I apologize. I thought I was trying to go with the time. No, get your stuff off. I was trying to go.
Because I don't like that they bringing the kids in.
I don't like it either. I'm
think
just
it's
saying that
crazy.
when you bring in kids, if you mention anything about my son, my spouse, my whatever, then it's like there's no whole bars. You got a problem with me, talk about me. You can talk
Right.
about, I'm ugly or I blah, 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 or whatever like that. But when you
Nick
bring
is
any
literally
of my
calling
family,
culture ugly, talking about them. Said that. What she say? Something about
your mom about to have another litter. about to have-
another litter. I'm so.
Yeah.
And then the recent one on my way in, I didn't even get to read it because I was driving for real. She literally puts out like an apology letter to culture saying I shouldn't have brought you in, but it's okay that your gums look like that at this age. But I apologize for bringing you in. It's very manipulative. I apologize for bringing you into this, but you'll see the bigger picture as you get older. Like what, Nicki?
Yeah.
What? It does feel like something is going on.
Yeah.
It does. And then in the midst of this, we got shots at Jay-Z. We got shots at Roc Nation. I feel like she is dying to say something about Beyonce, but knows better on that point. She is saying something. This executive, Desiree Perez, I don't know
Yeah.
who that is, but I
she
can't find, and I don't know the depth of
But she been going at her.
Yeah, she's been going at her. I don't know the depth of that one,
Mm-hmm.
but she's sprinkling in other things, and especially at Jay-Z. I feel like it has something to do with that title situation.
Probably, yeah. The money.
And
the
saying
money
that
payout,
she's
the
been
money payout, yeah.
owed. But
I want her to get help. Even though I'm a fan, again, I'm trying to be unbiased. Like, I want her to get help.
But then
I want her to get help, but
Yes.
I want her to help take responsibility, get accountable. I'm not saying that she's gonna do it. I'm just saying I want her to be responsible. I want her to take accountability. I want her to get help. I want her to go to therapy. I want her
She
to
needed-
get back.
she
I want her to
needed,
get back to rapping. You know what I'm saying?
what's her name? Iyanla Van Zant. That's who
Fix
she
my
needs.
life. I want her to get back to rapping. I want her to get the bars. Bars. I want to hear
Well,
bars.
she said she got something coming out March 26th. She just keep dropping that date.
I want to hear bars, but I also want Cardi to not pay this woman no attention.
And the fact that she's pregnant.
I'm like, your
just-
child don't need this energy. Like, you're in a good place, you're in a happy space, and really, you don't need to be checking any of these women because they not until they put it on wax. Any tweet, any comment, like. I know you with the, like, I'm with the ish. I'll roast. We gonna go at it. But I just feel like y'all are at certain tiers in y'all's career, in y'all's lives, that the pettiness is unnecessary.
I'm very disappointed, actually, in both teams. Not just the women themselves, but, like, their teams around them. You know what I'm saying? Like, take the phone away, bro. Look at the and be like, yo, you know what you look like right now? You know what I'm saying? On both
You look
ends?
crazy.
You look crazy right now. Chill out. And who gives a damn if she got a temper tantrum when you take the phone away? You look crazy. This is your brand. This is your voice. This is your legacy that is really getting, like, Nicki Minaj is literally saying we about to boycott anything that Cardi B has worked with. Bro, come on. Cardi B is literally have been on Vogue. She has literally been a fashion powerhouse. She has literally crossed certain spaces that I don't even think Nicki Minaj has for real. In the fashion space.
Okay.
In that space,
Yeah.
there's some couture things that
Yeah.
Cardi B has touched that Nicki
want to
Minaj
talk
has.
fashion to me?
Yeah.
I'm the one who told y'all girls what fashion
Yeah.
could be.
So
Imaginary players.
I just wish the team could have stopped it. And this also shows me that there's a lot of yes men. I can see a little bit more logical thought process coming from Cardi's side and a lot of emotion coming from Nicki Minaj. Because even when the audio got dropped of her talking to Ice Spice's manager and you hear that she mentioned Lotto's name, Cardi B came back and apologized.
Yeah, she did.
She's even said, yo, cut the shit. Like, the real thing is, this is what you got going on. You need to seek help, get therapy. I know that you hurt. I know that there's trauma. Like, you know what I'm saying? So as much as people try to make it seem like Cardi B is not the smartest, that girl. She's really
smart.
And you can never at this point, you can never make me hate.
Yeah, I think you can't make me hate her either. I think here's my issue. My thing is, like, Nicki, you the GOAT, bro. You the GOAT.
But you're tarnishing yourself.
It's undeniable. Like,
yeah. And
the
we know
numbers
that.
don't lie. The impact don't lie. Like, you are up here. You are upper echelon MCing.
Yeah.
These other women ain't even close, except for Rhapsody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody else ain't even in your stratosphere when it comes to actually doing what you do.
Mm-hmm.
I want you as the queen of rap, of MCing, of you as the queen. I want you to be a queen that is not only regal, personable, but, like, has class.
Regal's a crazy word to give Nicki Minaj.
You know what I'm saying?
Now, but
right now, but she's not living into.
Yeah.
That's what she should be.
No, that's
this what she should be.
I
You know what I'm
understand,
saying?
but I just feel like
she's not right now, and that's the problem. It's like, come on.
I'm curious as who on the back end is, like, calling her and saying, like, yo, not her team, but another person who's in the industry to be like, yo, girl, what you chill out. You know what I'm saying? And who she might have that much respect for to pick the phone up. Maybe is it Trina? Is it Eve? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Who might be, because on just for comparison, on the comedian side, who was it? When Will Smith did his thing with Chris Rock, somebody called Will Smith. No, Marlon Wayans, I think, talked to Will Smith. Another comedian talked to Will Smith and was like, yo, what's happening?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's somebody else that's got to come in and be like, what you got going on? And kind of reeling them in. Or is there an OG? And who would that OG be to get her together at this point? That's just my, I can't wait to hear that part. When we get on the other side of this, who's going to come out and be like, yeah. Or if Nicki Minaj comes out and be like, yeah, so-and-so called me. Or...
Yeah, I mean, I want to give it up to, like, Lotto and Ice Spice for being able to reconcile their differences and stuff like that and show, like, hey, if they can do it, even though, again, they ain't had no real beef. It was just over stupid stuff. Like, if they can do it, even if Thug and Lucci can do it. And they had real, like...
Court beef.
Shots.
At houses, mamas.
If they can do it, you know what I'm saying?
But these are very big egos that we're dealing with. People can't put things to the side. And I think with you bringing up Young Thug and Lucci, they both were in jail. You know what I'm saying? They beef took it to a whole nother level that they had to humble themselves and figure something out. So,
And I mean, I understand sometimes a fair one could squash a lot, but sometimes it may not. And this may be, it may be someone who's like, yo, I can't. It ain't. Here's the thing. It's not 50 and Ja stuff. You know what I'm saying? It ain't 50 and Ja. If it ain't 50, if it ain't real beef, like Big said, you know what I mean? Like, this is, we have difference in opinions, and we have went out of our hurt and our pain and our anger, have gone places and said things that we shouldn't have said. And yes, I threw a shoe at you, your security hit me, you know what I'm saying? Like, that has occurred.
but before we end, I also just want to state it is very different between male and females. From what I've heard about men, y'all can fight each other and the next day go grab something to eat.
Yes.
It's so crazy because I don't see that with females. It does not work that way with us.
Yeah.
And it's like after y'all fight, y'all then become best friends because that fight showed that y'all can hold yourselves down, and there's some type of respect that happens in that fight that y'all have with each other when it gets physical. That does not happen in the girls' world, unfortunately. I've seen it happen one time with some girls in middle school, but that was it.
Do you think any more music is coming out?
Well, you know, Nicki said she got something coming out in March. So that's something that we have to look forward to now. She keeps throwing out that date, March 26th. So we're going to see what happens from there. JT, maybe she'll figure something out. Maybe in this track, JT and Nicki Minaj will finally come together. Maybe JT will get that feature that she been riding for. Maybe, you know, I don't know. Bia got another track, got something coming out. She got her debut album called Bianca coming out, so we'll see what happens from there, you know. Ice Spice also dropped a diss in the midst of all of this. It's kind of on the very low scale. It was called Pretty Privilege. So
Diss to who?
it was just a over. I don't think it was. I think it's just one of a shit talking, something to just drop in the algorithm.
I just think if the bars are not up to par, leave them alone. If the bars ain't up to par, just stop. Like,
Yeah,
just stop.
get back in the booth or not,
Or don't get in the booth.
and stay off of Twitter.
Yes, Twitter fingers turn the trigger.
Because I think this can get nasty. This can get this.
And leave the kids out of it.
Leave the kids out of it. This
If
can
you
get
got a
bad.
beef, talk about the person you got beef. Roast the person you got beef with. Leave the kids and the family and everybody else out of it.
So yeah,
But anyway,
we'll see what happens next. So to be continued.
yeah, we will see what's happening next. How they follow you, Des?
You can follow me at DesiiTeee, DesiiTeee on Instagram, and then DesiiTeee with just 2 E's at the end on TikTok.
Follow me at I'm Xavier Brandon on all social media except for on X, Professor X, PROFEZZRX. Follow Austin at Leak So Stupid, LIK So Stupid. Follow us, VIS Unfiltered Radio ATL, and VIS Unfiltered on TikTok. Keep y'all crowns up. We love y'all too. We see you next time. Later.